Hey everyone, Miss Darling here. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you have a terrific, safe, and very prosperous day. If you find this video to be of value to you, please subscribe, hit the bell, like, share, and comment. Now let's get into today's project. Applicable links will be in the description box below for anyone who's interested. I would really be remiss if I did not take the time to publicly thank my daughter Swoop and her partner Dirt for all the help they've given me to set up a film studio right here in my art studio. They went out of their way to make sure I had the best equipment, the best use of my art studio space, a most convenient work environment, the best economical setup I could get, and the best quality of visual and sounds. They gave me all of their time, expertise, wisdom and advice, finances, and even some software to help me get this going. So I just want to really thank them from the bottom of my heart. I would never have been able to do it without their help and guidance, and so I just wanted to give them a special salute. You can find Swoop's channel. Just do a YouTube search on SWOOP and you'll find her. Okay, the first thing you're going to need to do is buy yourself some acrylic sheets. I use 1.5 millimeter acrylic sheets, and you can get these in different sizes. I just recently bought two 9x12 sheets, but you can buy them much larger than that. And before you do anything with them, though, you're going to want to draw out the shapes that you're going to want to make on a piece of paper, or cardstock in this case. So I have filled up this 8.5 by 11 sheet very strategically, trying to use as much of it as possible so that when I put a 9x12 acrylic sheet on top of it, I'm going to have very little wastage. I advise you to draw the back lines with pen so that once you place the acrylic down, you can easily see the shape. You're not going to want to use the pen. I don't know, maybe a Sharpie will take on the acrylic, but the pens I have won't do any good. But I don't really need them because I can clearly see the shapes I want to cut out through the acrylic. So then all you need is a straight edge and a knife. Put a new blade in because you want to make just one pass when you cut. If you wind up doing more than one pass, you might get little nicks, and you don't want that. So I'm not actually going to cut this because I don't need one, but all you do is place your straight edge down right next to the line you want to cut, and then carefully cut all the way through to the end. Now if you notice, I've lined up my shapes right with the edge of the paper so I can cut right off the edge. Not so in every case. I mean, obviously down here I'm going to have to make some side cuts. You can go ahead and make your cuts for your tabs if you want to. If you want to leave that to the end and just make straight diagonal cuts like this, then you can do that and then cut off the angles to turn it into a tab later on. It's really up to you. I like to predetermine what my shape is, and so I cut my acrylic exactly to the particular shape and purpose of what I'm doing. In this case, I have tags here and here. This could be a bookmark over here, and this is a large tag here. You can tell because of the angular cuts on one end. Okay, Now, once you've got your shapes cut out, oh, and by the way, in case you're brand new and you have no idea what tags are, what kind of shapes, what kind of sizes, the dimensions, the proportions, I have a template kit in my Etsy store which will give you a PDF of all different types of tags, bookmarks, different sizes, different shapes. There's some squares, you know, just a wide variety. I've even got lettering in here, some circles, more lettering, some numbers, and, you know, dollar signs and whatever else there you might want to use. Anyway, these will all come in a template kit, which you can purchase very reasonably at my Etsy site. So if you need that kind of more specific help, go there, get yourself this kit, and it will help you enormously. Okay. Now you take your templates and after you've cut them out and you've got various sizes and shapes that you want to use, then it's just an easy matter of pulling out one of your master boards and determining what you're going to do with them. In this particular case, I don't need templates because I've already got the shapes that I'm going to cut out here. So my work is done as far as that goes. But on these, I don't. So I'm going to randomly, I'm going to take a large, it's kind of dirty looking, but I hope you can see it. I'm going to take a large tag and I'm going to place it down here on top of this master board, and I want to get my cutting mat, and you can see this is helping me. I'm going to move this over just a bit, helping me place my shape exactly where I want it. And I'm taking a pen and I'm carefully going around it. Let me see if I can get in a little closer. So I'm carefully drawing the outline of my tag. Make sure before you lift it up that you got all of your lines in. Sometimes it's easy to skip a section. So we'll be cutting that one out, and I'm going to do something on this side as well. So let's take a different template, maybe something that's smaller. I've got a bookmark here, and here's a smaller template. I'm going to line it up right where I want it. It looks pretty good. The things I look for in determining where to place my template is, of course, the composition that I expect to get. I don't just randomly throw them down and just start cutting away. I want to make sure that when all is said and done, I'm going to be reasonably happy with what I've got. And by reasonably happy, I mean I want to be able to look at it and feel good about the overall composition. I look for balance. I look for a distribution of image. If not over the whole shape, then at least a good part of it. There's a bookmark I did, and we'll do another tag. This time I'm coming over to this side. I'm going to pick up on some of these warmer colors, and I'm going to draw the outline of this one here. Now you can see the toughest part of my work is now done. Now all I got to do is, this one's a little bit harder to see because of the darkness of the paper. You can cut them out with scissors or with a straight edge, whatever you prefer. I kind of like the old-fashioned way of just cutting with scissors. I will have scraps left over, which of course I keep because scraps are very important to have down the road when you want to make more masterboards. Then you've got tons of imagery you can pull from that have colors, the right kind of colors that will work together. And so you see, there, I've got a tag made from an acrylic template. I'm going to go pull this one out now, and we'll cut this one out. This is not rocket science. This is just good old fussy cutting like we did when we were young and we had paper dolls. Although I don't know that generations now, I'm in the older generation where we did have paper dolls and we would cut and play with them. Probably my very first introduction to paper crafts came as a result of playing with paper dolls, cutting out their costumes and dresses and slacks and accessories and everything. So there's another tag. And who would have thought you could get something so interesting out of a masterboard? One thing I want to point out to you too is that images, you'll find that images that on your masterboard suddenly seem to just really enlarge when they get cut down to a much smaller shape and size, and they take on a even more dramatic feeling, I think. And I just love how this turned out. And because I printed on the reverse side, you can see that I picked up part of the image from the reverse side, which I can leave as it is, or if I'm not really happy with it, I can glue this down to a sheet and then have a different background, or I can simply embellish on the reverse side if I want to. But I'm really happy with how that turned out. This one had, of course, been printed on the reverse side, just a random shapes of coffee dyed paper, and so you can see how that got cut out and is, you know, a person could write on here and do a little journaling on the back of this card, or you could embellish it, whatever you choose. So I think you get the idea. Of course, the more masterboards you have, the more ephemera and cards you can create. Let's just try cutting out this one. On the back of this masterboard, I created a second masterboard, collaging various scrap papers that I had on hand together to make the entire reverse side. And so this is much thicker than the earlier ones. This is just a single sheet of cardstock here, whereas over here we have cardstock in between, and then papers glued on this side and papers glued on that side. See how fun that is? I mean, that's great. I actually think I like this side better than the side I started out to make. So that's what's great, is when you do both sides, you've got a tag you can stick in a journal, and you can stick whichever side is more appealing to you face up, and then your customer or your friend or family member, whoever winds up owning the journal, can do with it as they choose. And obviously, if this side went better with the particular journal spread that I was putting it in, I would probably put this one face up. If that side went better, then I would put that side face up. Anyway, I have the option. You can embellish on both sides if you choose, or just leave as is. So that's how that one turned out. And not to drag this out because this is pretty elementary, I'm going to come over here and just cut out this 4x6 postcard shape that I made over here. And you can make, obviously, a postcard size acrylic template for yourself if you like postcards and like sending them out or including them in journals. You can do as you please. I rounded the corners on this particular one, so we're going to round them as I cut off the final. And then we're going to turn it over and see what it looks like on the reverse side. Oop. Got to round off this side too. Okay, so there we have it. And we're going to flip it over, and that's what we have on the reverse side. It's still light enough a person could do some journaling on this side, or it's ripe for additional embellishment, maybe to bring out a little bit more of the teal, spread it around, and make it a little more interesting on this side. So you would wind up then with a double-sided card. I think that's pretty cool. Anyway, that's about all I was going to cover with you on this video. So get yourself some acrylic sheets. I'll have links to some in the description box, and get some cardstock, or you just use regular paper if you don't have any cardstock, and do your outlines on paper first so you can hopefully maximize the whole sheet so you don't waste the acrylic. It is, of course, more expensive than paper, so you don't want to waste any. And then have fun. You will have your acrylic shapes forever and be all set to cut out whatever you want, as many as you want, over and over again, just using the same shapes. So I hope this has been helpful. Hey, and thanks for watching and sticking with me. I hope you had fun. I did. And let's just keep having fun and creating whatever makes us happy. Remember to like, subscribe, and share if you found this content helpful. Remember too what Albert Einstein said: creativity is intelligence having fun. I don't know how much intelligence there is right here, but I am having fun. Hope to see you next time. Bye for now.